De figuris, the figures of Latin, the treatise, and now we're looking at evocatio, evocation, and this video is from latinum.org.uk. Some learned men do think this also to be no figure, and that upon a good reason. Evocatio, evocation. Cum, when, as. Prima, the first. Vel secunda persona, or the second person. Immediate, immediately, or without anything coming between. Evocat, calls out or calleth out into this English of 1690. Ad se, unto itself, to itself. Tertiam, the third person. Ambai, both of them. Fiunt, are made. Primae, of the first. Vel secundae personae, or of the second person. Ut, as for example, ego, pauper, I, being poor, laboro, do work. Tu, dives, you, being rich, thou being rich. Ludis, dost, play, do play. Tu, dives, ludis, you, being rich, do play. I'm going to scroll down now. If this annoys you, shut your eyes briefly, and when you hear my voice, you will know I finished scrolling. The applying of the examples unto the rule. In the first of these examples, ego, the first person, joined immediately with the word pauper, of the third person, maketh, in other words, makes, the same also, to be in this conjunction the first person. In the second example, tu, the second person, joined immediately with the word dives, of the third person, causeth, causes, the same also, in this conjunction, to be of the second person. I'm going to scroll. What the figure evocation is, a note. Ergo, therefore, evocatio, the figure evocation, est, is, immediata reductio, an immediate reduction or bringing back, tertiae personae, of the third person, ad primam, to the first, vel secundam, or the second person. I'll read that again in Latin. Ergo, evocatio, est, immediata reductio, tertiae personae, ad primam, vel secundam. Vero, but, observandum, est, you must mark, you must note. Verbum, that the verb semper convenire, always agreeth, always agrees. Cum persona evocante, with the person calling forth. Ut, as for example, ego, pauper, laboro, I, being poor, do labor. Tu, dives, ludis, thou, in other words you, being rich, dost play, do play. You, being rich, do play. Tu, dives, ludis. I'm now going to scroll again. The applying of the examples. In this first example, the verb laboro agreeth, agrees, with ego, the person calling forth, in number and person. That is to say, is the singular number and the first person, like as ego is, just the same as ego. And in the second example, the verb ludis agreeth with two. It agrees with two. The person calling forth. The person calling, the person announcing. That is to say, is the singular number and second person like as two is, just the same as two. I'm now going to scroll down again. Four things required in the figure evocation. And the note in the margin, no conjunction in evocation. Nam, four, in evocatione, in the figure evocation. Quatuor, four things sunt. Are, notanda, to be noted. Persona evocans, the person calling forth. Quae, the which, semper est, always is, prima, the first, well, or secunda, the second person. Evocata, the person called forth. Quae, the which, semper est, always is, tertia, the third person. Verbum, the verb. Quod, the which, semper, always, est, is, primae, of the first. Vel secundae personae, or the second person. Et, and, absentia, the absence, conjunctionis, of a conjunction. And as he noted, no conjunction in evocation. I'm going to scroll. In what cases the person calling forth and the person called forth may be of diverse numbers. In evocatione, in the figure evocation, persona, the person evocans, calling forth, and evocata, and the person called forth, aliquando, sometime, sunt, are, diversorum numerorum, of diverse numbers, of different numbers. Ut pote, as, namely, well, either, cum, when, as, persona evocata, the person called forth, caret, lacketh, does not have. Numero singulari, the singular number. I'm going to scroll down. Ut, as, for example, ergo, I, tuae deliciae, thy delight, or darling, your delight, or darling, veniam, will come, ist hoc, thither, over there. Ergo tuae deliciae, veniam ist hoc. Out, or cum, whereas, est, it is, nomen collectivum, a noun collective. Ut, as for example, magna pars, a great part of us, studiosorum, students, quaerimus, to seek, ammonitates, pleasures. Hic, here, subauditur, is understood, nos, this word, nos, meaning we. Out, or denique, finally, cum, when, as, est, it is, nomen distributivum, a noun distributive. Ut, as for example, uterque, both of us, laesi sumus, are hurt, in magnis rebus, in great matters. Nos, this word nos, sub intelligitur, is understood. In this former annotation, there are 3 examples, and I'm going to scroll. The applying of the first example unto the rule. In the first example, ergo, tuae deliciae istuc veniam. The word deliciae, being the person called forth, because it lacketh, it does not have usually the singular number, but is put in the plural number, deliciae. Although ego, the person calling forth, be the singular number, according unto this first caution. Scrolling now. The applying of the second example unto the rule. In the second example, magna pars studiosorum amonitatis quaerimus, this word pars, the person called forth, and nos, this word nos, the person calling forth, are of diverse numbers. Namely, pars, the singular number, being a noun collective, and nos, the plural number, scrolling, according unto this second caution. Scrolling again. The applying of the third example unto the rule. In the third example, in magnis laesi rebus uterque sumus, nos, this word nos, which is understood, and the word uterque, being the person called forth, are of diverse numbers, namely nos, the plural number, and uterque, the singular number, being a noun distributive, according to this third caution. Scrolling again. Note, in the margin, there are no examples set down of the first sort of evocation, but only of the second. Two sorts of evocation. Evocatio, this figure evocation, autem, also, est duplex, is of two sorts. Explicita, expressed, ubi, where, tam, as well, persona evocans, the person calling forth, quam, as, evocata, the person called forth, exprimitur, is expressly set down, et, and, implicita, unexpressed or understood, ubi, where, persona evocans, the person calling forth, intelligitur, is understood and not expressed. Ut, as for example, sum, I am pius Aeneas, Gordianus, where, in the Latin, ego, the person calling forth, is understood. Populus, we the people, superamur, are overcome, ab uno, by one, where in the Latin, nos, the person calling forth, is understood, and not expressed.